Welcome to Spiritual Core TV, reporting live with our eyes and our ears and our feet and our hands glued to the real Ethers News, being broadcasted here live at the spiritual streets. Listen, you got people that were going to and fro looking for you because they wanted to devour you. That is the role of the devil. So, as they were playing the role of the devil's advocate, the goal and what they had come to some type of a diabolical agreement about, they all agreed that they would humiliate you in the worst way with your truth. But Spirit says, in order for you to be humiliated about what has happened to you, first you have to be embarrassed about your story and what it took for you to get to these moments of glory. And so these people didn't realize, or maybe now they do, sitting in spiritual jail, oh, they're going to have more than one conversation or two with their lower selves and all their shadows because now they didn't know that you had to be embarrassed in order for them to show all this humiliation the way that they thought it was going to be heavy on your life. It didn't resonate, so it had nowhere to go. It couldn't stick. It had to take flight. Now they sitting in spiritual jail talking about fight or flight. Well, listen, somebody just needs to go night night, take a nap, sit down, and just think about what they did. Listen, welcome to Spiritual Core TV. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning back, what's good? I'm so glad that you came back. Let's see what's going on. Spirit says, in order for you to have been humiliated first, you had to have been embarrassed. So the flying monkeys, remember when we did the reading about not feeding the animals? You didn't feed the monkeys. The monkeys were included, okay? And two, you took the wind out of the flight. You were the wind beneath their wings. You were the reason that they were able to carry on conversations. Wind as in swords, swords as in spoken communication, thought, and deed. Once you removed yourself, these conversations couldn't take flight. Because again, the energy was a little off. It went left and right. They didn't know what was going on. Should we go night night? We really want to humiliate you, but we need you to be embarrassed first. So you think you could schedule being embarrassed. And you said, oh, about my story and all of what I had to go through to get here. Oh no, I've made peace with that because it's only the Most High God that I have to adhere to. And so that means that their spell work went asunder. Now they sitting up looking at the doggone spiritual jail like that's not where they're supposed to be at. And they're right. They're supposed to be under the jail. Spirit says what they did was diabolical. Now the flying monkeys can't fly no more. Now they can't talk no more and say nothing. Somebody got hit with a stick in spiritual jail. Spirit says show them the door. It's a karmic feminine that was leading the pack. This is the one that came up with all the ideas. She had all the plans intact. She's like, we're going to humiliate this person. We're going to talk about them. We're going to drag them to hell. And you're like, surprise, been there. What do you mean? To hell? Several times. It's okay. I know every demon there. You can't embarrass me with that. You can't destroy me any more than I've already been destroyed. But now that I've put myself back together, the Most High God is the only one that knows the weather. So I need you to know when that thunder comes down and you flying monkeys can't fly no more. I just know it was the Most High that had to show you the door. Somebody's in spiritual jail. It's a good place to be. Now they have to talk about all that they said about you. Monkey see, monkey do. That's what Spirit said. 5 more monkeys jumping off the ledge. One jumped off and bumped their head. And something happened because you came in with self-love. Something about you having a connection to the Most High above. You went within in the middle of what was supposed to be your chaos. And you processed everything so beautifully. Self-love is all that could come out. And when you did that, that really pissed them off. Damn it. Why aren't you embarrassed? We really desperately need to humiliate you. It's our only pursuit in life. We really want to tear you up. Can you receive our evil eyes, please? We really want to F you up. And you're like, no, I'm good. I'm over here focused on self-love. I know I'm really a spiritual thug. I could really destroy you, but I'm just going to sit still. Because all you flying ass monkeys is going to hell right now. Like spiritual jail? Yeah. Got the spiritual escorts and the whole nine. Ordered by the Most High. Not my say. I'm just here to tell the story. That's what Spirit said. Oh, wow. They want to figure out why is it that you're not mad about what they did? Instead, you decided to move on. You looked to the left, you looked to the right, you saw them getting in a group and fraternizing and discussing whatever they're discussing, and you left them with different versions of yourself or variations of yourself, or all the truths that were simultaneously true at the same time as you moved on. You weren't available for these conversations. Then these people grew angry. They grew more and more insidious. They were very vicariously hunting you down with this flying monkey's energy. The flying monkeys didn't know which way to go. At some point, the flying monkey stopped flying, okay? You were no longer the wind beneath their wings. You told them, don't waste your breath. And so their breath was wasted on conversations now. Now they all sitting up looking like, what the hell are we going to do? Because you changed right in front of them. You got changed energy, moving on, self-love. Oh, wow. While these people still stuck in a rut, trying to think of how you got up out of that energy, how you got up out of that when they tried to cross you up, and you out here changing. Now you have bossed up right in front of them. It was never anything for them to see. This is why they couldn't see it. Why didn't they know who you were, collective? Because they couldn't see you. That's why. In order to see collective, no matter what your circumstance and situation is, you had to come in self-love, because even at your lowest moment, you were still connected to the Most High. And that's what a lot of people didn't want to see. Not that they couldn't see it, they just didn't want to see it. That's what Spirit said. They didn't want to see the fact that you really are a star seed. This is a fact. This is the truth. This is the real Ether's news. This is what the spiritual streets are saying. Everybody's getting towers. They don't want to admit that they really have to give you your flowers. You handle these situations so eloquently. Even when they said, oh, you're a punk. He says, oh, okay, that's fine if that's what you need to believe. Again, another case, another opportunity to be the bad guy. But they needed you to give a damn. They really needed you to be embarrassed in the middle of the humiliation rituals. Some of them thought and expected that you would embarrass yourself, that you would pop out with this attitude of animosity, but you over here with an attitude of gratitude, just saying thank you, thank you. And this put these people in a rut. Look at this is the way they're looking in spiritual court, in spiritual jail. They all did it together. So now listen, they don't know that their sentence in spiritual jail does not have an expiration date, because what they sent out didn't have an expiration date. It was eternal lust. They would have kept this humiliation ritual up for eternity had they been allowed. So now they're in spiritual jail and they're like, well, when do we get out of here? Oh, I don't know about that. They have to adhere to their own contracts that are only applicable to them. That's what Spirit just said. Something about rich girl, something about your boss up, something about your glow up. Some of you are just getting really good news right now. Like everything is going good for you, pathway. You know, it's so interesting because I was sitting in the car and somebody sent me this scripture, Psalms 18:37 through 44. It's a song where David has a victory, and David describes through vivid imagery how the Most High God empowered him to pursue and overtake and destroy his enemies. It emphasizes God as the source of his strength in battle, resulting in triumph, subjugation of foes, and the expansion of his kingdom. Subjugation. So that's basically where your enemies become your footstool without realizing it. Like it says, you will rule over nations and your territory will be expanded. Why? Because you went towards the Most High God. And this is how you got to triumph over yourself. So once you did that and all was well and you were well with what had happened, what was happening, what was going on within you, this then defeated this illusion of what appeared to be conflict, adversity, animosity, jealousy, evil eye, all that flying monkey, whatever. You kind of left these people to wallow in their own conversations because that's what they wanted to do. When you let people do what they want to do, which we don't have to let anybody do anything, but simply you just keep yourself out of the way. Staying out of the way is really a good place to be sometimes, especially when you're going towards the Most High God. When you did that, you won over your enemies. So now, while they're getting towers, they're watching you get flowers and they don't know how many towers are about to fall. That's the catch. There was a lot of conversations had, y'all, between them, practitioners, other people, online, offline, the neighbor. I mean, when I tell you these people were hunting you. So now Creator says, your spirit guides are out here hunting that ass down. There's an order right now in the ethers, by way of the ethers news being broadcasted, that the hunters are being hunted. Since they were so hungry and trying to hunt you down, they're now being hunted by what it is that they've said. Every word, not one iota has been missed. The angels are on point. When they wrote down every single word and every single thought, like the Most High God knows all things, the record of the conversations, the spiritual stenographers, the angels that were taking note, your ancestors were watching them as they were lighting the candle, molding the dolls, sticking the pen in the dolls, going to the graveyard. All that's been documented, baby. Ain't no sense in waiting on this here. What is really the reasoning behind expectation at this point? What are they expecting by way of this expectation? Because if it's to see your demise, then they will be waiting for a really long time. And I feel like they don't know that they've already been waiting a long time. Being in spiritual jail, yeah, you really do lose track of time. That's that spell work that backfired. It makes you feel like you're in a time lapse. The days seem longer and sometimes shorter, and you just don't know what it is. But you're sitting in an energy of lust that has nowhere to go. It's a whole bunch of people in spiritual jail right now. It's a good place to be, though. That'll teach them. But one thing they cannot say is that you were anywhere around to deal with this energy. 11:44 on the timer. This is why sometimes, not sometimes, but all the time, spirit will intuitively guide you to stay out of the way. When you moved on and these people were having these conversations, you were nowhere to be found. So when the spiritual police rolled up giving citations, breaking spiritual law, and carting their ass off to spiritual jail, Collective was nowhere to be found. Now, would you believe me if I told you that these people had the nerve to want to testify in spiritual court with their flying monkey ass talking about, but Collective, Spirit like, according to this, Collective left in 2010. Y'all just had this conversation last night. Then you go to the graveyard on Tuesday. Now everybody's conveniently catching amnesia. Like, what? Which Tuesday? Taco Tuesday. What? This is the type of stuff they're saying in spiritual court. So much so, it's complete and total disgust. The ancestors are saying, get them out of here. Put that ass in spiritual jail. And so now they're in spiritual jail with no bail. They can't afford to pay attention anyway. They were too busy talking about you, giving up all their currency. The ancestors said, we want blood. We want blood. All you have to do was get out of the way. In order for you to be humiliated, you have to be embarrassed about what you've gone through. That's not something that you need to tell everybody if you don't want to. It's between you and the Most High God. These humiliation rituals are things that these covenants do within their own groups. In order to go up the ranks, they'll make them homeless. They'll put them through, poverty spells, and they really test them just so they can go up to the next degree and be like a master witch, right? That's the type of sick stuff that they do, because those are the people that are playing God. Whereas you were connected to source. So nobody could ever take from you, add to, or make you feel a way about what you had to go through from birth to current and everything in between. And even the things that nobody knows about, you already have made peace with that. And this is why you're winning. So while they're getting towers, you're getting your flowers, the love spell. Are these people sitting in hell, in jail, figuring out now what's love got to do with it? Because if love is equivalent to hate, then yeah, it's a no. We don't appreciate that. We don't want it. It's a no. And these are the answers that they're getting in spiritual hell. They got to face themselves. Yeah, like, entity attachment. Some of them sent you entity attachment, suicide spells, all this stuff, whatever. The Most High God is real. The Most High God used the collective hidden in plain sight, broke you down, built you up, molded and shaped you. The Creator did that. Not another person, not another man, not another woman, not a conversation. The Creator did that. And it was very, very quiet. It wasn't broadcasted. What really went on behind closed doors and what you went through, these people couldn't see. That's why those destiny swaps got all messy. Single, sexy, and successful. You're coming out as somebody that's been molded and shaped and pruned by the Most High God. And when people see you, they can't ignore it. Even in spiritual jail, they're sitting up looking like this, like, damn, that mofo is blessed. They really, really want to give you your accolades, but they can't get a call out. There's no phone calls in jail, and you can't sneak in a cell phone. You don't need nothing when you go to spiritual jail. Nothing. All you got to do is you come, not even all you got to do, you go in there stripped down, transparent. If it was done, it's exposed. If you said it, it's out here. If you thought it, it's out here. If you hid some evil in your heart tucked away behind your clavicle and your sternum, right where your heart meets your brain coherence, and you made those words up in those conversations, it's being plucked out. Everything that you hid within your vessel, in your soul, that's ugly is being ripped out. It's a transparent energy. It's an Aquarian energy in spiritual jail. For the Most High God has made the collective ruler over nations. And you know what's so interesting about it? Although we know this is our current energy, it's not what we would do if we were they type energy. And I'm gonna leave that right there. It's very quiet, very cool, very calm, very grateful, very much pure love, very, very much real love. Something that a lot of people don't experience, y'all. It was work though, wasn't it? Yeah, in order for you to be humiliated, hell, you had to be embarrassed first. You're like, well, wait a minute, what do they need me to be hurt? Over what? Karma had already taken care of that. So when these people searched you because they knew that you were of the elect few and they couldn't find anything, well, here lies the dilemma. And this is how they all ended up in spiritual hell and spiritual jail. They don't even have an expiration date on it. While you out here getting your flowers, I'm not making this up, y'all. This is the truth. Real love, divine masculine, divine feminine, your spiritual gifts and gifts and gifts. Listen, this is the season of reaping and you deserve it. You did the work. The nights that you went to bed on time so that you could get up and be responsible. While somebody was up all night praying and shit, talking to something that looked like this. Like what? You got up, you blessed the day before your feet hit the floor, you blessed the day. I'm trying to remove the word blessed from my vocabulary. Thank you for being patient with me, collective. You got up and you were blissfully greeting the day, and karma met you at the door. And with all that was being said, it didn't even resonate. People didn't even know how you were moving. They didn't even know the conversations that you were having with the Most High God. And when the Most High God says it's time, it's up. I need you to go. It's time for you to go. You trusted the Most High God. Where is that? We don't know. Most High God say go left, you went left. Most High God say stay, you stayed. Whatever it was, you were obedient to your intuition. And that's really what led you to this beautiful energy. And you deserve it. Well, sucks to be them. We're not going to stay on this energy too long. This is the current energy reporting live from the spiritual street, spiritual jail. It appears as though there's a lot more prisoners that are going to spiritual jail. Now, here's the thing. Spiritual jail will sneak up on your ass in the middle of the night, remind you of that death spell that you did, while you rolling over and wondering why you can't sleep. Spiritual jail is real slick. It's not an abrupt thing, although some of this backfire will be abrupt. But spiritual jail will sneak up on you in the middle of the night while you thought you was going to siphon somebody's energy, and then you end up looking like this. Some of these people, honestly, y'all, are fragmented. Like, portions of them are here and there. They were too busy trying to be omnipresent, too busy trying to have hands in places and eyes in places that they need not be, instead of being right now here in the current. And they're fragmented all over the place. Because if they're constantly looking at you and putting their words on you, and you didn't took the words out their mouth and snatched the breath out their mouth, it's like, save your breath. And they're like, tell me how I'm supposed to breathe when nowhere. Nowhere, nowhere. Save your breath on all that flying monkey bullshit, because you're going to need it when you go to spiritual jail. Child, they kept talking. They were determined. Had they only been more determined to talk about themselves in a real way, This could have been differently. It could have all been so simple. These are people that intentionally made it hard. And so now they get to sit up and talk to themselves in spiritual jail and have the conversations that they should have had at the time when they were too busy trying to humiliate you about things that you're not embarrassed about. It's like, what? Congratulations, collective. This entire experience exposed your character, which is held in high honor. So says the Creator. And if they want to look at you like, who said? The Creator said. The Most High God said. There's no coming up against that. They already tried that. That's how they ended up in this energy. Sitting in jail for trying to come up against the Most High God. Because collective, we're the property of the Creator. We belong to Source. Don't touch the anointed. Don't touch the prophets. I mean, we're not writing any letters to people in spiritual jail. There's no phone calls. We surrendered those conversations when we realized there was no common sense being had. Some of these people have been talking about the same thing for years. If you tell them to stop talking about that, they'll argue with you. I can say what I want to say. Okay, you go ahead. You've been saying this since 1968, child, or 78, something like that. Doesn't matter. Who knows? Again, that spell work will have you losing track of time when you really focused on destroying somebody that's moving in silence with the divine. This is the message, okay? Thank you so much for watching Spiritual Court TV. Thank you for the love, the support, the beautiful donations. I know that all is well and that the collective is going to get back everything that you put out. Everybody's going to receive what they deserve. And we're really happy about that. I love y'all, okay? Like, love, share, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace be with you.